Never to be cut off fresh. That's that dude. Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tolulopesolutions. On this channel, I film about as if I have another channel. I film about faith, family, business, and lifestyle. And today's video is just like a funny, I don't just call it funny. Let me know if you guys find it funny, but they're actually not funny. These are some of the things that I do. I was asking my husband earlier that are these like toxic? He's like, oh, toxic is a strong word, but in actual sense, yes, they are. So I just want to come on here and chat with you guys because I know that many of us might be on this WhatsApp group and it is not good. Now, in this 2021, I am making a deliberate effort to work on all of these things, and really the point of this video is just to also encourage whoever is on this WhatsApp group with me. Let's work on these things. This is not a sustainable lifestyle. It is not something, it's not God's will for us, if I do say so myself. But anyway, without further ado, let us jump into some of the toxic traits that I have, shamefully have. So the first one, which is the most toxic in the actual sense, is holding in my fat. You guys, do you guys do this? Like, even if I'm in the most comfortable place, I still hold in my fat. Why do you? Now my husband, on the other hand, when he like travels to a new place, he's unable to use the restroom for a long time. Me, I just feel comfortable, I do that. But when I'm even in my own space, like, obviously I understand the place of poise, don't get me wrong, you know, you should not be farting anyhow, maybe if you're in a meeting, but even that, if we can fart in the presence of God, what is meeting? I mean, it is just so toxic that I was thinking about it the other day, that really, why do you always hold in your fat? It's not good for your stomach, it's not good for your body, right? So this year I started to make a deliberate effort that I just count the cost. Who will smell it? My daughter, my husband, my nanny, whoever wants to smell it should smell it. I let it out. And I feel like, let me tell you guys, I'm that kind of person that once I stand up to go and fart, if I excuse myself to go and fart, the fart will disappear. These are real life issues. It's not funny. So because my husband on the other hand will excuse himself, and I'm saying my husband a lot. If you're new here, my husband and I are like best of friends. You can watch our other videos, you understand why I'm saying my husband. You know, he would stand up, run off, and then let it out. But me, the moment I stand up and run off, it will go back. So most times I just announce, Mufeso. I just tell him, I want to fart, and then he'll cover his nose or he will leave the place for me. But he's even now started teaching me the technique that you need, because like 2 days ago, when I'm filming this video, I did it successfully. I stood up, we're watching a movie, I went into the visitor's restroom and I let it out, and it was a success. Because this year I am not gonna hold in my fart for nobody, please. That's too toxic. Okay, the second thing, which some of you might be here for, maybe you find this serious, that Tolu was that, don't talk to us about fat. The second thing is thinking I'm asking for too much. I mean, I even do this in my marriage. I do this with my friends, with my sisters, with my parents. Like, solutions, you are not an island. Like, the tiniest things. The other day, my husband wanted someone to bring something very important, not even like we're bothering the person. Well, we're bothering the person, of course, but it was like, I meant to say it wasn't even like a trivial thing that we could get by, not buy me chocolate. It was something very important we needed. So my husband suggested someone. I'm like, don't let us bother her. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, hold on a minute. When this person needs my help, she actually bothers me, and I'm glad to render it. So why am I saying don't let us bother? Please, let's go for it. To call her up, and she was willing to do it, right? I've realized that no man is an island, and more than ever before, I'm actually trying to let go of anything that makes me uncomfortable to ask for help. If I need your help, if you're my friend and you're watching, best believe I'm gonna call you. If I need you to help me watch after my daughter, I'm gonna call you. Well, no, that I don't know. God help me in that department, because I'm also like a very control freak kind of mom. I did not write that in my toxic trait. I don't think that's toxic, but not to derail, you know, thinking I'm asking for too much. And if my husband would notice, I've become very verbal, more about the ways I want to be loved, more about the things he's doing that I don't appreciate. I'm used to just taking it all in, and it's like I'm saying two things in one, but I feel like it just comes down also to, you know, being very into yourself and thinking that you can do it alone, that is toxic. No man was created an island. We need people. So yeah, if you're my friend, I'm gonna be your faces. If I come on here on my birthday and I say that I have an Amazon wish list that I want you people to buy for me, you better run and buy it, please. Let me not be prideful now because I'm asking for the things I want, but these are some of the things that I feel like I can do now. God help me. Talk is cheap solutions. Maybe I should actually put it upon myself to do that, because like my past 2 or 3 birthdays, I'm always doing one thing. If it's not mentoring school, it's save desserts. If it's not that, it's solutions intro. Like I'm always giving, even on my birthday. So maybe this year actually, and it's the big 30 this year coming, maybe I should do an Amazon wish list and you guys should just buy me things and ship it and deliver it to my house. Am I asking for too much? Let me know if I'm asking for too much, right? But yeah, that's one thing I'm working on. And if you're in this WhatsApp group with me, I believe that one day at a time, asking that friend for that favor at a time, it will go a long way, because we are not islands. Okay, the next thing, which is also like, is I sneeze inside. So like why? That's too toxic. My husband told me the other day, Sha, don't let your windpipe burst. And it's all because poise. You know, obviously, again, you guys, if you meet me in the place that was supposed to be poiseful, you're going to say, this girl, she's too classy. Okay, don't take this video too seriously like that. I understand the place for packaging, and if we meet there, you might not even recognize solutions. But guys, I have decided that I'm not going to sneeze inside. In my office last week, as I tell my filming this video, ask him, bless you, okay, that's it. Obviously, I do the right thing. I cover, I sneeze in my elbow, you know, sometimes I cover with my hands and then I sanitize right after. I do all those things. But why will I say, oh, I don't want to disturb people, I'll now sneeze inside so that I don't make any sound? No, there's a natural order for sneezing that God created. Why am I trying to overpackage it? Sneezing is an involuntary action. It's not something that I created. So anyway, if you're in this WhatsApp group with me, feel free to sneeze your sneeze. My father will say, 1 million bacteria rendered homeless. Let's render them homeless. Obviously, in these times of pandemic, you guys, you have to obviously, even more than ever before, sneeze with decorum, right? Dab it, sneeze it in your elbow and things like that. But me, that one of sneezing inside, I'm saying goodbye to it. And all of these things I'm saying, obviously, I don't expect them to change overnight, but I want to make sure that before my birthday in November, before this year runs out, you will not see any of these things with me. I'm leaving it in this year 2021, even though it just started. But yeah, the next thing, I mentioned this in one video I released at the beginning of the year, is to be texting and driving. I know this life is one. No, or making a video. Now, if I have the right gadgets on my dashboard, oh yeah, and this is what something I'm, you know, already planning to invest in. My car has to be equipped for me to film and drive. If I'm ever holding the phone in the car, then I have to be in the passenger seat. I'm not going to be filming and driving anymore. If you catch me doing it, you people, please judge me and remind me in the comment section below that solutions, you said this is a toxic trait we are going to leave behind. You know, hands free. Don't text and drive. Like, talking and driving is already enough distraction. Why do I now still have to be holding the phone or texting and driving? And I'm so smooth with it, but at the end of the day, we know that the enemy does not like us. He's always looking for an opportunity to trip us off. So trip us up. You know, so even me, I've spoken sense to myself. I sat at the beginning of the year and I'm like, nope. If you want to film and you don't have the right equipment, pack, my dear sister. And I did that in the video at the beginning of the year. I pack, I film it, and I will now be going to my house. Nothing is too urgent. If the text cannot wait, even call, I'm not holding phone to pick call. Thank God for technology. I've got AirPods, so that can work, you know. But anything that is like major distraction holding the phone, that's toxic. You're doing danger and harm to yourself potentially. Okay, let's drop it. Okay, the next toxic trait that your girl had, I'm going to be saying had, because by mouth confession is made unto salvation. Yeah, that's it. The next thing is to rush my food. This got intensified when I became a mom, but I think even before I became a mom, I've always been in that WhatsApp group of rushing my food. Who does that? Like, even if I'm eating in a restaurant, yes, I'm still eating with poise and class, but like my speed is always fast. I feel like the only time I don't rush my food is if I go for a getaway, or I go for a dinner date with my husband, and now I'm sure that somebody is like, my kid is being watched and she's safe. But even at that, when I'm in the house, I'm rushing my food, and I feel like it's actually part of the decisions I've made to be intentional, this year about living. Like, someone said, so there's this thing I started on Instagram, by the way, Faith Mondays and Love Fridays. I think we'll do it once a month. Yeah, we'll do either of both once a month. So in my Insta stories, we'll just talk about one thing that has helped your faith recently, or one thing that's challenged your faith recently, so that in sharing other people's opinions, you two can know you're not alone, or you can learn one or two things from it. And the other one is Love Fridays, where like, what's up with your love, and we'll talk about that from time to time. So if you're not following me on Instagram, please go follow. But I said that to say this. Someone was saying that, one of the things she did to overcome the flesh was that she finished her food without touching her phone. And that's, to me, is intentional living. I need to start living more intentionally in the moment. I love it. Like, it feels so good. I'm not going to let technology or the responsibilities of life make me now go and choke up on my food. So I've started taking time. I feel like I've even noticed myself. So I started taking time to like be very intentional about when I'm eating, not to rush my food, because it's not even good for your digestion, and then you feel full on time. There's so many other things that that isn't good for. And now that my daughter is a bit grown, actually it's better, because before I'm like, okay, I don't know what she wants, but now I know that if she wants part of the food, she'll tell me. If she's hungry, she can tell me, and all of that. So that's one thing I'm deliberately also doing this year. No to toxic traits, no to rushing our food. The next thing is being stingy to my own self. Girl, I know that a lot of moms and wives are in this WhatsApp group, and when I was vlogging my Dubai trip, you guys saw it. In a blink of an eye, you will shop for kids. In a blink of an eye, you will shop for husband. But when it's time to just book a massage, that's when I will now be thinking of his words. Show what's there. Are these people trying to scam me? I will now put so much thought into it. Or I want to buy a bag for myself, or I just want to enjoy my life, and maybe like anything that has to do with me. My mom, I think it's my mom that gave me this one. I can't even lie. I was on the receiving end, right? Because she used to do the most for us as children. But when it came to herself, she's like, I literally told her the other day, why are you booking economy? Why? Like, why? Because anyway, when it comes to myself, I ain't holding back now. This one is going to take, by God's grace, it won't be more than this year, but I know that it's going to take baby steps, really, because it's a foundational thing. But I have started to work on it. If I used to think for like 10 minutes before I could even buy a box of pizza for myself, now maybe I'll think for like 5 minutes. I'm like, well, go for it. It doesn't take away the place for being frugal or delaying gratification. But if I cannot delay gratification on behalf of my husband and my daughter, why am I delaying it for myself, right? So self-care is very important, and I'm making that conscious decision. I'm not stingy to myself again. If I can afford it and it fits into my budget and it's not going to hurt anybody, I'm gonna buy it. Because guess what? If I don't use that money, I'm going to buy it for groceries for the house, or I'm going to use it for my husband, or I'm going to use it for my kid, or I'm going to use it for my friends or my family. The money is going to go. It's just going to go. So I might as well use it for myself and be a baby girl. But context, but you guys get what I mean. And I'm sure, like I said, a lot of moms can relate, and why. So let me know in the let me know in the comment section below, what are the things that you deprive yourself of, and it's not a big deal when it's time for you to do it for your loved ones. Yeah. The last thing is I overthink every single detail of everything. This one, and another thing, when I was there to visit, I asked my husband, so what are my toxic traits? Before I even said no toxic, it was like, you overthink or you think too much. I'm like, that's the last point. So you're right. And I think it's part of my need to be in control. Like, I love like I said again, I'm working on these things now. If you had told me that I could be trying to do a particular thing I did recently by proxy, I would have said no, never. But recently I'm like, oh, let them do it. And now I have an assistant that manages some of the things I do. The control in me has not relinquished other things, but I'm now learning that you can't do it all. You can't be in control at every point in time. So back to the main thing, which is overthinking. Guys, I can think for Africa. Obviously, the way I always solve it is when I've thought and I'm not making any headway, I either just leave it completely. I just leave it for like a whole 2-3 days. I'm sure somebody was expecting me to say a month. I still pick it up, but I just leave it completely, you know, for like sometimes just one day. I pray about it, which is one thing that always works. Clarity in the presence of God is amazing every single time, you know. Or when you're trying to tell yourself that more than anything, I just want to be in God's will, you let God know that let your will be done in my life. I do that all the time, but it does not take away the fact that in the beginning, in the initial stages of the decisions I have to make, I overthink every single detail, and that's not good. So if you're like me, no, let's start to just do it. Let's start to live. Like, it's part of just living freely. There's some things that you just I know somebody who cannot even be bothered to think about whatever. It's like cute Sarah, but not in a bad way. So the person is purposeful, a friend actually, purposeful and all of that, but cannot stress herself for anything in the world that is like whatever she cannot control. And that's the WhatsApp group I'm trying to join. God knows that, you know, more than ever before, I'm doing well. But yeah, if you guys have any of these toxic traits, let me know in the description box below, in the comment section below, okay? And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.